That's it. They don't believe in the Second Amendment. They don't believe in.
He's showing up more Emmett stream, and I do not like it. That's funny. Yeah, I think I saw Emmett briefly in the chat here too.
The First Amendment. They don't believe in small government. They don't believe in personal rights or responsibilities. They are all for big government. Do what you're told to. Why were you even there?
Do what you're told to. It's the law, you dummy. This is what's insane. Okay, we've always had these illegal immigration laws. We've had them. That's what I'm so confused about. That would be like saying fucking Dusty's fucking family owns a fucking bank. So imagine if people robbed his family's bank, his dad calls the cops and wants to prosecute the robbers, and all of a sudden Dusty's like, hey, that's big government bullshit. That's bootlicker shit. What the fuck? Like, Dusty, what the fuck are you talking about, you moron?
What were you doing with a gun? All these fucking things.
But especially retarded. Well, why would you go to agitate ICE with a gun? Okay, like that's a good question. I'm not saying, oh, he deserved to get shot because he had a gun. But if you go there and you have a gun and then you're resisting arrest, yeah, some shit might happen. But especially gay. Actually, I don't know. Probably more retarded. Federal law enforcement has to pussyfoot around the public to accomplish their job. People think we live in a utopian society, forgetting the fact there are child rapists controlling society. Yeah.
If there are child rapists controlling society, then why the fuck would you want to give them more power? And actually, where's the live chat?
More power. How are we giving them more power when these laws have already been in the books, dummy? That's my whole point. We're just asking for these laws to be enforced. How are we giving them more power? Tell me that. How are we giving them more power? Giving the government more power is allowing them to lock us down and wear masks and distance. That's giving them more power. Or allowing them to censor us on social media or allow us to have bank accounts taken away because we say that's giving them more power. Enforcing laws that are already there is not giving them more power. Exactly. Yeah, and it's like it gets me like upset because it's like we have all these stupid debates. Like, was the ICE shooting justified? Like, resoundingly, yes, it was. But we have to sit there and like play by play. But look at this frame by frame, and you see, look, the tires were pointing this way. You could see his feet were right here, and it's like, why do we all have to pretend that we're retarded too? Like, we have to have these retarded conversations. Like, we all saw the video. We all saw that it happened like this. That she clearly like hit him with the car. And so he shot her in defense. Like, you can't just start driving into an officer like that. I could concede that she didn't mean to murder him or run him over. I could actually give you that because I agree. I don't think she meant to hit him. But the fact of the matter is she did hit him. She was reckless. Her fucking snizzlicker partner was like, drive, baby, drive. And so she was like, oh.
Yes, they're talking about leftist radicals. That's another annoying thing is that I don't like standing up for, I mean, Renee.
Why did he have to pause it right there? I'm so stupid. Let's go. I'm an idiot. Why do you guys watch me? I'm so stupid. God. Her partner was like, drive, baby, drive. And so she was like, oh.
Yes, they're talking about leftist radicals. That's another annoying thing is that I don't like standing up for, I mean, Renee Good was by everything I can tell, she's obnoxious as shit. But
well, yeah, obnoxious. Yes, that's an understatement. She was actually trying. She wasn't shot for being obnoxious. She was shot for trying to obstruct the law.
Pretty is it? Well, first of all, Renee Good shouldn't have been shot. It doesn't matter. She didn't hit him. He shouldn't have been.
She did. We all saw the video, dummy. She hit him. Okay, he suffered internal bleeding, which even if you guys go and say, "Oh, it was just a bruise," well, that still means she hit him. Hey, top of the morning to you too, Fuck Sims. Good to see you, brother.
Walking in front of the car. Yes, she did lots of things. They both did lots of things wrong. But the I'm sorry, did I say pretty or good? The pretty one is significantly more in your face. He barely touched a police officer. It was not an aggressive touch. At no point did he attack or even look like he was doing anything other than trying to help up a woman who had been.
Yeah. Except that, what's it called? They were trying to like detain him and arrest him or whatever, like put cuffs on him, and he was resisting. That's the thing.
Pepper sprayed and hit with the can.
Yeah, listen, I've dealt with cops several times in my life, several fucking times. I have never once seen the back of a cop car. I've never once had handcuffs put on me. Why? Because I didn't act like a fucking retard. That's why. I didn't act like a jackass. You know, let me show you guys something. Let me show you guys something real quick. I actually forgot to talk about this on my bookmarks thing, but this I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, right? So look at this. Illinois mom killed in execution-style shooting as she opened up her bar. So the poster put, she complied. Oh, sorry, I'm not even sharing this. Sorry. I'm an idiot. Illinois mom killed in execution-style shooting as she opened up her bar. She complied, gave him all the money from the register, and then he shot her in the head. Now, lefties, what do lefties and retards always tell people? If you're being robbed at gunpoint, right? If you're being robbed at gunpoint from a criminal, listen, don't try to be a hero. Is the money in that cash register worth more than your life? Just give them what they want. Just give it to them. Comply. These idiots will tell you faster to comply with a fucking criminal than actual law enforcement officers. When it comes to law enforcement officers, no, resist arrest, blah, blah, blah. Oh, listen, yes, he might have been resisting, but does that mean they deserve to be shot? Does it mean they deserve to be shot? It's not about what you deserve, asshole. It's just don't be a fucking retard. But these people, they have this backwards logic. Comply with criminals, but resist law enforcement. And when Dusty comes on here defending this fucking nonsense, he comes off like a fucking idiot. And he wonders why people think he's an idiot because he says stupid things like that. All these lefties say stupid things like that. It doesn't make any sense. Comply with criminals, but resist a law enforcement officers. What kind of backwards fucking nonsense is that? What kind of world do you want to live in where you're telling people comply with criminals, but resist law enforcement? What kind of country do you want, dummy? How do you expect to live your comfortable life with your wife and your kids? Just living your fucking life if you're telling people to comply with criminals, but resist law enforcement. So again, Dusty's family has a fucking bank. He clearly grew up privileged, right? He's definitely had some kind of privileged life. Well, yeah, that privilege comes at a cost. It comes with laws. It comes with law and order. That's what it comes with. If you want to live a nice, comfortable life, then you should want law and order, not chaos.
It doesn't matter. And that's another thing that gets drugged down. People keep going, well, they're radicals. They were in a Telegram group. But did you see they doctored his picture up? He's not that good looking. Who gives a fuck? All this shit is ancillary. It doesn't matter if Preddy kicked the tail out of a cop car a week ago. None of that shit matters to whether or not this was a good shoot. It clearly wasn't. It was clearly an execution of an unarmed man who was not a threat. And not only that, it was into a crowd of other officers. But anyways, I'm trying to get a debate with him going. So I'm not gonna go on too much about this, even though I've spewed my opinions all over the place. But we'll check this out a little more.
Like a retard, fucking. Thank you very much, Never Lucky Rubber Ducky, for the $10. Amen, brubber. I don't know if you meant to put brubber or brother, but thank you very much. Drove right into him, and her ass got shot. Why do we have to pretend? And again, if you were in that situation, you would have done the fucking same thing. All these lefties would have done the exact same thing. In fact, if it was an ICE officer driving the vehicle, and Renee Good was the person that shot the ICE officer, all these fucking lefties
thank you very much,
be like,
Lucky.
well, it was justified. Did you see? Look, she.
The reason for that is because we should expect. Actually, in reality, we have lower standards for the behavior of officers. But how it should be, what we should all be clamoring for is if we give somebody monopoly on violence, we entrust them with the authority to use violence legally, and only them, because their job is to manage difficult people. They should be held to a higher standard. If a cop runs over a woman, he should, in that situation, she should have been charged for sure, but she did not deserve to be executed. He would not deserve to be executed either, honestly. But regardless, there's a difference in standards for these two people. Right now, as it rests, the general public seems to have lower standards for police officers than anybody else in society.
No, you have lower standards for your fellow citizens, okay? You believe that citizens should be able to act like retards on the street, obstructing law officers, and you're not holding them to any standards, okay? You can't just hold the cops to certain standards and say, well, people should do whatever you want. If you don't hold your fellow citizens to standards as well, then what's going to happen is you're going to enable these people to keep doing this bullshit, and it's going to lead to more people getting hurt. Not just the protesters, but also the officers as well. The officers would get hurt as well. They're like putting their lives at risk every single fucking day. That's what you're going to lead to. You have to hold everybody to standards. You shouldn't be like, well, it's okay for these citizens to assault the officers, but the officers, they should use the utmost highest threshold of they should have the utmost, how do you say, like the like they should have the utmost standards of who they should use force against or not. You can't have it like that. Okay, that's how you're going to get people hurt.
How it should be is the opposite way around. We should be expecting more out of them. If your job is to deal with difficult, dangerous people, then you shouldn't be mindlessly lollygagging in front of a car with a non-cooperative driver. You shouldn't be rushing and beating the shit out of a woman with a mace can. You shouldn't just start shooting blindly into people because you may have heard somebody say gun. And you shouldn't be scared by everything. I was scared for my life. Why? The dude was running away. I'm just speaking not of a specific situation, just generally. Like cops get away with all sorts of egregious shit because they're scared for their life. Well, bitch, you're in the wrong job. You're in the wrong line.
That's very much the same as the fire woman, the Snizzlicker woman that's like, look, if you're stuck in the fire and I can't carry you out, then you got yourself in the wrong place. Yeah, listen, again, I'm not sitting here advocating that cops should just shoot willy-nilly. I'm not saying that. I don't want that either. Okay. But right now, when you scrutinize these ICE officers way more than the citizens causing the unrest, you're helping to create these situations. Okay. Like, again, it wasn't like the first thing they did was shoot this guy. This guy walked up and they shot him. Like, that's not what happened. All right. And you need to treat right now we're in a position where the Democrats are keeping the temperature high, that are spreading these lies on the ICE officers that they're the Gestapo, that they're, and then we have idiots like you that are going, you're bootlickers if you support ICE and all this bullshit. It's heightened the temperature to these ICE officers. Okay. And it's leading these people, again, these retards, these brainwashed retards to go out there, and they're putting their lives on the line too. And it's all nonsense is what I'm trying to say. Like, it's all nonsense. It's all stuff stirred up by Democrats, people in government, Dusty, the people that you hate so much. Yeah. Well, they're fighting on behalf of their government too, the Democrat government, and they're putting their lives at stake here. But the ICE officers, if these agitators weren't out there agitating and causing all this unrest, these ICE officers wouldn't be on edge as much as they are. And you're sitting here saying, well, then they shouldn't be in the job. Okay, well, then we won't have ICE officers. Then who's going to enforce the law, dummy?
Line of work. Because what you signed up for was to deal with difficult, dangerous people.
By the way, Kokomo, thank you very much for the $15, brother. Very much appreciated. And also, is there any more? Also, thank you very much, Anthony, for the $5. Why don't they create blockades on freeways instead of neighborhoods? Because even a dumb person knows that's stupid. Yeah, that's true. Exactly. Yeah, it's much more riskier to create blockades on freeways, right? Very good point there, Anthony.
and you don't get to execute them just because they're being difficult or you decided they're dangerous. That's
You decided. It wasn't they decided. It wasn't like they sat there and they're like, this guy's dangerous, and then they shot him, dummy. Again, this is what I'm talking about. We all saw the same fucking videos, but it's like what Scott Adams says. It's like we could both watch the same movie and come away with different things, but clearly there's a wrong fucking answer here. So the way he puts it as, let me go back to make sure I understood him correctly.
get away with all sorts of egregious shit because they're scared for their life. Well, bitch, you're in the wrong job. You're in the wrong line of work. Because what you signed up for was to deal with difficult, dangerous people. And you don't get to execute them just because they're being difficult or you decided they're dangerous. That's
Yeah. Execute them for being difficult, or you decided that they were dangerous. Okay, so no, he wasn't executed for being difficult. It wasn't like, oh man, we can't get the handcuffs of this guy, so we're just going to kill him. That's not what happened. And also, they didn't sit there and decide, oh yeah, this guy is dangerous, so we're going to shoot him. No. Again, there was a lot going on because this guy was resisting. So when you have multiple men trying to arrest one man, okay, yeah, it's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of confusion. Again, no one knows exactly what's happening. One other guy heard gun, and you could see the guy who shot him, he reacted to something. You could see he reacted and he pulled out his gun, and that's when he shot. Okay, that's what happened. It all goes like this. That's what happened. You're trying to characterize it like, no, they just decided, or he was just being difficult. No, that's not what happened. It was because he was being difficult, but it wasn't just like he was being difficult, therefore we're going to shoot him. No, it was because of all the chaos that's going around. By the way, these officers don't know if anyone's going to come behind them that are going to attack him or whatever. There's a lot going on. And so one guy heard that he had a gun. And in those situations, you only have so quick to react. You just have so quick. Again, we all have this luxury of going back and going frame by frame by frame on what should have been done. We have the ability to pause time after it happened. But these officers don't have the ability to pause time and properly assess everything while it's happening. Okay? This is just common sense stuff. But again, this is why I didn't want to have this debate with Dusty, because again, it's like I have to throw out common sense, I have to throw out logic in order to entertain a stupid fucking argument.
crazy.
He hit her with his car. Of course, she had a reason to shoot him in self-defense.
Then step up and be part of the solution. I am part of the solution. I'm out here trying to move the Overton window off of
even people in his own chat then step up and be part of the solution. People's own chat are saying shit.
dumbass buttfuckery like this shit. You know goddamn well I'm a felon and they wouldn't hire me anyways. You're just saying shut up and lick the boot like I do. You may like boot polish, Chuck. I think it's gross. I think that the way that you guys grovel to authority is gross. And I think that it's embarrassing and you should be embarrassed. This comment should embarrass you. You're basically saying, why don't you tuck your dick and cluck, bitch? No, because I'm not a chicken. Why don't you go stand up and round up some Mexicans if you're scared of illegals taking our jobs or taking our welfare or whatever the fuck it is.
Well, we're trying to. That's what we're trying to do, but we have to deal with dummies like you.
Like, they would all be defending Renee Good in that situation.
By the way, they're calling us bootlickers. They're fucking cucks because they're willing to let our country get taken over by people who don't belong here. They're cucking out our fucking country for I don't know what fucking reason, because I don't know what Dusty's logic is. Could government bad? Because government bad, I don't want to be a bootlicker. Then okay, Dusty, then you know what? If something should ever, like, if you see a crime or something happens to you or your family or what have you, or your business or your house or something, don't call the cops then because you're a bootlicker. You want the government to take care of it for you? You're a bootlicker. Yeah, don't call the cops then, Dusty, with that logic.
Situation. But because it was the ICE officer, now they
Chuck, do you believe in the First Amendment or the Second Amendment?
Thank you very much, Just Jane OK, for being a member for a month. At this point, Krusty is posing wannabe white knight with as much common sense as a tomato. Yeah, I know, right? Thank you very much. And also, thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. If you haven't hit the like button by now, you definitely back up to Dusty's glory hole. Oh no, yeah, you don't want to be backing up to Dusty's glory hole, guys. So yes, make sure you give that like button a click. There's a lot of gays that have come into the chat. I'm assuming there's probably some lurkers in here. So yeah, make sure you hit that like button at least if you're going to lurk.
Or are you like Vic here and you're more liberal than liberals?
You have to go full retard and be like, well, you see his feet.
So wait a minute. I'm a bootlicker, and I just want big government, but I'm also a liberal. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Right here, the tires were pointing this way, and blah, 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 fucking blah. They're all full of shit. Yeah, Vic rage. By the way, Porkalaw, thank you very much for $5. Hey, cool. Brian, again, please don't talk bad about my honey boo boo bear, Don. Yeah, I know, right? Sorry about that, Brian. I know you get a little touchy when we talk about your butt buddy, Don Lemon. So I apologize. But yeah, it's just so annoying. Like, we all have to pretend that, like, we have to also pretend to be retarded too and have these conversations when we all know it's plain as day. Same thing with Alex Preddy. Like, he shouldn't have been there. Like, he shouldn't have been there. Like, he clearly.
So what you can't see yet, because it's behind my head, but for the past 2 minutes, he's been ignoring my comment, which says, if child rapists control society, isn't giving ICE more power the same thing as giving more power to grapes?
Who's arguing about giving ICE more power? What the fuck's he talking about? We just want the laws to be enforced, and that's what ICE is doing. The fuck is he talking about?
Let's
We
ignore
have to
that.
also pretend to be retarded too and have these conversations when we all know it's plain as day. Same thing with Alex Preddy.
Yeah, and by the way, I ignore Dusty's comments sometimes because he just wants to be a contrarian sometimes. I was like, dude, Dusty, just shut up. Shut up.
Like, he shouldn't have been there. Like, he shouldn't have been there. Like, he clearly was looking to agitate.
He is allowed to be there. He was looking to agitate. That's his legal fucking right.
It's his legal right to
legal
agitate.
to protest things.
See, and then these. By the way, good to see it, Chris Lestrange. Vic, why are you beefing with gays? Yeah, well, they're beefing with me. But anyway, what was I going to say? Hold on, let me go back real quick. What he said.
It's your legal.
Oh yeah, the hype behind protest. No, you could protest. Yes, you have a legal right to protest. But what these people are doing aren't protesting. Okay, you can't create blockades in neighborhoods and take their IDs. That's not protesting. You can't stand in Targets and protest in there. You can't block ICE in the middle of the road from driving down that road. You can't do that. Okay, and you can't get in the way of ICE while they're trying to do their job. That's not protest. That's not legal protesting anyway. It is a form of protest, but it's not legal form of protest. That's not what the First Amendment is about. First Amendment is it not, oh, you're allowed to go in and intervene when an ICE officer is trying to conduct an arrest. That's not protesting. But they call, to these dummies, they just call it protesting, and therefore you have a legal right. No, that's not what protesting is.
He is allowed to be there. He was looking to agitate. That's his legal fucking right. It's your legal right to protest things. It's your legal right to be in public. Law enforcement is supposed to protect people's legal fucking rights, not execute them for them.
He doesn't have a legal right to intervene on an arrest. That's not what they don't have a legal right to do that. That's not legal protesting.
He clearly was looking to prevent ICE from doing their job. That's not allowed. That's not allowed. You can't just go and obstruct justice like that. You can't go and intervene in the law like that because you're retarded and you have retarded feelings and you've been brainwashed into thinking.
Where's the lie?
This is all retarded feelings and brainwashing right here, Vic.
Because you're retarded.
That's the best you got? That's the best you got? Nuh-uh, you. Nuh-uh, actually you. That's really the best you got? That tells me right there that it really is retarded brainwashing. You've been retardedly brainwashed.
And you have retarded feelings and you've been brainwashed into thinking you're doing something good and noble. Like when a week before you see Alex Preddy, he kicked the taillight of the ICE agent's car and stuff.
So fucking what?
So what?
So what?
Here's why. So what? It shows he wasn't this innocent bystander using his legal right to protest. He wasn't just standing out with the sign right there that says, you know, down with ICE or fuck ICE or something like that. No, he's actual agitator who's willing to use force. Okay, he's willing to vandalize the ICE officer's car. He's willing to use force when he feels like it. So that's what the so what is. They try to paint him out as this, oh, he's just a nurse. He just wanted to help people. He's just good guy. Look, he actually looks really good looking in this picture that we doctored. But in reality, he was an agitator.
So what?
Clearly, he was confrontational.
That's it.
Clearly,
that's all you got. So what? No, not a so what.
Wasn't afraid to get violent as he caused damage.
These are the fucking debates here, guys. This is what the debate. So what? So no, you. No, you. Then he wonders, why won't you debate me? Because I know this is how it's going to go down. I knew that this was like going to be the points that you're going to make. It's so predictable. You guys are so fucking predictable. Jack the Guitar God for $4.99. Dusty is a proud owner and operator of a thing called Wrong Thing. So dumb. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much, Jack. Very much appreciated.
To that car, he should have been arrested right then and there, and I don't even think he was. And so then now we all have to pretend like, oh, this Alex Peretti, he was such a victim and blah, blah, blah. We all have to pretend to be retarded too. We all have to stoop down to the left retarded level and have these retarded conversations when we all know, like, yeah, this is pretty justified. You fuck around and find out. You're not allowed to obstruct the law like that. You're not allowed to obstruct the law. And he wouldn't have been doing that if he hadn't been such a fucking retard.
Yeah, where's the lie? Where's the lie, Dusty? What are you going to say?
Which law is it that you think need not be obstructed? Is it not murdering? That one? Because if any of us did what that cop did to Preddy, we would be in cuffs immediately and charged with murder. Probably first degree.
Yeah, but we're not cops, Dusty. We're not cops. You can't, on one hand, say, like, we need to have a higher standard for these officers, but then also lower the standards to the officers by comparing them to us. We're not cops. Which one is it? Do they have a higher standard or do they have the same standard? Like, which is it? Make up your mind, dummy. Make up your mind. Make some goddamn sense. Gosh darn sense.
Degree murder. And then we could plead down to like 3rd degree murder and do 30 years in prison. So, Vic, you're not actually saying anything about the law. You don't have any allegiance to the law. And I don't think people should, actually. I think that using the law as your guiding moral foundation means that you're morally bankrupt. But at least you do have some sort of a foundation, even if it is the wrong one. But what people like Vic have is just a group affiliation. And so that means that whoever's perceived as the group leader, whenever that person shifts their opinions, you're going to follow right behind them and shift yours like a baby fucking duck crossing the road.
Who the fuck is he talking about? What is he talking about? Who am I following? Who am I changing my opinion for? What the fuck is he talking about? I don't know. Like, I'm honestly clear. Is he talking about Trump? Is he talking about like Andrew Wilson? Like, who is he fucking talking about here?
Then you go back and forth and back and forth. And you look like a dumb fuck. You look like exactly what you are, a dumbass with no self-guidance. There's nothing in you or about you that leads you. You're just, it's cult of personality. You're following dear leader, whoever that may be.
Okay, so he doesn't even know. Yeah, so who the fuck am I following, dummy? Who am I following? Name him. Who am I following? What cult of personality am I following? Tell me, Dusty. Tell me, who is it?
And there's a whole bunch of people out here, conservatives, exposing themselves as dumbass followers because the things that they're saying about the Preddy situation right now are the polar opposite of what they were saying about Ashley Babbitt on January 6th.
He doesn't know my opinions on Ashley Babbitt. He doesn't know my opinion on Ashley Babbitt at all.
They're both wrong. I don't know what's wrong with all you dumb fucks on both sides. Both of those were wrong.
He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Now he's just saying I'm just following people. He didn't contend with anything I actually had to say. He just calls me that I'm just a follower and I actually don't have any internal self-guidance. Asshole, that's you. Motherfucker, that's you. And you're the one switching between, like, on one hand, you can't contend with the law, so now you're starting to bring up morality, which is what all you fucks do. That's what First Amendment did in the debate too. All you fucks can't stick to one. When you're getting proved and run, then you have to go to the other. Well, which one is it? And whose morality, if you're going to bring up morality, Dusty, whose morality are you following? Because, see, if you want to bring morality up, well, isn't sneaking into this country illegally, isn't that fucking stealing? Aren't you stealing something that's not yours, which is a citizenship? Isn't that stealing? See, I'm against stealing. So to me, that's fucking stealing. That's breaking the law. That's stealing. You're taking a spot from someone else that's trying to get here the right way, Dusty. So what morality are you following? I just don't want the brown people fucking shit back. I just don't want the brown and the black people shit back to their country. I think it's wrong. Oh, what, by whose morality? Where is that wrong? Ron Paul?
Oh, we got another remote. Yeah. Yeah, the Vic Rage is new. No, Dusty. I'll debate Vic on.
Rat Blood, when has this shit ever worked on me? Like, you've known me long enough to know that these sort of demands will not ever work. If y'all want to see Rat Blood, you can either cough up, somebody can sponsor him for $20, or he can say please, or he can just wait.
On this topic. No, dude, I'm not gonna dummy myself down to have a retarded conversation to humor your retarded ass on this topic. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Next, I'm gonna be saying,
good job, past me. Good job, me from yesterday. You were proven right.
Here going.
Now watch this. He's gonna try to have this debate by himself with the voices in his head.
I mean, it was more entertaining than a debate would have been against you. By the way, Jack, thank you very much for $4.99. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but Dusty talks like a cult leader. Just want to point that out. Yeah, I could see that. Thank you very much, Jack.
By the way, guys, isn't the sky blue outside? And then you're going to come in and be like, Vic, I will debate you on this topic. The sky isn't actually blue. And then what? I'm going to be like, oh, okay, Dusty. Yeah, let's have a talk. Well, you look up and you see the sky is blue, right? And you're like, well, no, actually, Vic, look, I have this footage for you. They're actually making us think that the sky is blue, but in reality, it's actually purple, Vic, and you don't know that, right? I'm willing to debate you on this. And I'm like, Dusty, look, it's fucking blue. Just look up outside. Like, why are you pretending to be stupid on this? No, Vic, you're the one who's stupid on this. You actually don't really know. The sky isn't actually blue. Here, let's debate on this. No, Dusty, I'm not going to debate you on the color of the fucking sky. Come on, Vic, what are you scared? It's because you know you're going to get wrecked. No, Dusty, it's because I don't feel like having a fucking retarded conversation. I just don't feel like it's necessary. You guys are the ones that are being retarded about this. No, I think you're the one being retarded about this, and I think you're the one that's standing down and just afraid to have this conversation. Fine, Dusty, believe whatever the fuck you want. I just don't feel like having this retarded conversation. You guys are being retarded about this. You want to say I'm backing down or too scared to have this debate? Fine, go have at it. Say it. Sorry, I just don't feel like having this retarded conversation with you. Okay, what's next? You want to debate 2 + 2 = 5? Yeah, actually, 2 + 2 does equal 5. Okay, Dusty, whatever. Just have at it. Have fun. Go on believing 2 + 2 = fucking 5. I don't care.
I really should have said, take my video and make a response to it and tell me in that response video that 2 + 2 actually = 5. That's what I should have said.
So I'm not sure if I just won that debate that he had with himself and the voices in his head that I wasn't a participant in or not. Sounds like he may have just conceded the debate to me.
What the hell are you even talking about? What are you talking about? Dusty's not making sense at all. And again, this is why I didn't want to have the debate with him. Like, what valid points has he brought up at all? Like, even in his response, he had nothing to say, so he had to resort to that I'm just following some fucking person that he can't even fucking name.
how the debate would go down, Dusty.
Yeah. So 2 + 2 = 5 then? Is that what is so 2 + 2 = 5, Dusty? Does he really think that 2 + 2 = 5? Yeah. 2 + 2 does equal 5, Vic. Okay. You're just following your cult leaders. Okay. You're just following your cult leaders. You don't really know how to do math. Okay. But 2 + 2 = 5. And you're just a brainwashed retard if you don't think that 2 + 2 = 5. All right, Dusty, whatever you say.
That's how the debate would go down.
So, Vic, did you just concede the point to me?
No, I don't think
Or
I
to
did.
imaginary me?
Andrew was on a panel with Dusty the other night. We didn't address. Yeah, because these people, like, look, dude, like, I'm starting to see why Andrew doesn't want to like address these people. Like, they're not serious people. Like, listen, look, I'm a fucking dummy, okay? I am not like some kind of intelligent fucking, master debater or anything like that. I'm not. But dude, like, this is just like common sense stuff. Again, if you want to go and you want to have this comfortable fucking life, you need some law and order. And to be just like, oh man, I don't want ICE enforcing the laws and stuff. It's retarded. It's dumb.
Yes.
Ugh. So
He's frustrated because he just lost a debate against imaginary me.
Okay, so what? 2 + 2 = 5?
holy vey.
I know. I don't know how well you guys can see the chat. I did say, I said I'll debate Vic on this. He responded to that. I said I'll, what did I say? Oh,
Well, that's the thing I know too. It's like I know, like, a part of me, like, I'm like, I know he's just like baiting for content, and it's like I even though I know this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm a dummy too. Even though I know this, it's like I have to like respond to this somehow, And the thing that sucks about me is that I feel bad. Like, that's what fucking sucks, Like, it sucks because I was actually like, man, yeah, I probably should have just let Dusty on yesterday. I probably, yeah, listen, it would have been a fucking annoying, retarded conversation. I would have hated every second of it. But you know what? I should have just let him up. What am I doing? Like, I can't do that. That's what I was thinking last night. But that now that I'm seeing his response, I'm like, I'm glad that I didn't fucking let him up.
know you'll lose. So he did address that point during his debate with himself. And then I say, you fake conservatives are more liberal than actual liberals. And that gets ignored, but I think it's a valid point and it's worth repeating. I also said this isn't an this obviously isn't a black and white issue.
It is. It's pretty black and white.
I think that's all I've said so far.
There you go. Debate happened. Yeah, there you go. That's the debate. It's just that, Dusty, like, when we humor the retardedness of it all, this is what allows more people to do stupid shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's just I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. Like, we need to start humoring this mindset of just like, well, actually, this is why it's a black and white. Like, I don't give a shit. I really don't. Like, the more that we humor you guys and be like, you know what, you're right, let's have a conversation, let's really debate this, then the more that it's going to show like, well,
It's funny, this person, super chatted, or he just brought up a comment. I don't know, but this person commented right here. I have an interesting white paper. Why does it have to be white for? Why couldn't you use brown paper, huh? Racist. Anyway, I have an interesting white paper written by a libertarian that surprisingly supports immigrants. Yeah, no shit, libertarians support immigrants. Like, libertarians, libertarians are the worst. Well, not as bad as lefties, but they fucking suck. They're stupid too. T King for $5. Pause. Dusty is so powerful. He thinks he won the monologue debate. Meth and gay wizardry are powerful shit. Yeah, I know. He thinks he won my imaginary debate with him. I guess he really thinks 2 + 2 = 5. I don't know. I don't know what this guy. I don't.
actually, Alex Preddy was valid in doing what he did. Renee Good was valid in doing, and then it's just going to encourage more people to get themselves fucking hurt.
It's going to encourage more people to do what? Get themselves hurt. Maybe if we don't want people to get hurt, we should arrest the people that do the hurting when it's not justified, like the cops that did it. Instead, you're suggesting that people should not exercise their First Amendment, not exercise their Fourth Amendment.
That's not First
and,
Amendment.
To hide at home and forfeit all their rights because
who's forfeiting? I'm not forfeiting my right when I stay at home. What right am I forfeiting? I'm not illegal. I'm a legal citizen. I have no fucking worries about being deported. Okay, so I'm fine. I'm good. And so are you, Dusty. Yes, if you're an illegal immigrant, of course you're going to be fucking worried because you're here illegally. It's the same thing. Like if I went and robbed a bank, yeah, I would be fucking worried every day. Like, holy shit, I hope they don't figure out it's me. Yeah, of course I would be stressed out because I would be the criminal in that situation. So yes, an illegal immigrant is going to be fucking stressed, but you know, who cares? They're committing a crime. They're not supposed to be here.
You support the guy that got executed in the street. I'm sorry, you support the executor instead of being outraged by the execution. You're a bitch. You're a whole yellow belly bitch, Vic. I swear to God, if somebody broke into your house with a gun, he'd be like, here's my wife. You can fuck her.
No, that's you, Dusty. That's what you're allowing to do in this country. That's what you're fucking allowing to do in this country. You're allowing this country, if this country was our wife, you would be allowing millions to fuck her. That's what you and these other retards are allowing here. And then, like, yeah, by the way, someone did break into my house and I called the cops, or I used self-defense, and then I called the cops after. You would call me a bootlicker for getting the fucking law enforcement involved. It's just gonna, that's all it's gonna do. It's just gonna enable more people to get fucking hurt. That's all it's gonna do. Like, what, do you want to see people get hurt? Because I don't.
Then stand in your fucking square and oppose people getting hurt. Somebody got hurt, and you're like, yay, hurt them more, but don't hurt me.
Over a needless issue.
I'm not going to get hurt because I'm not a retard, dummy.
Like illegal immigration. Something that's been a thing forever. This isn't a Donald Trump thing. He didn't all of a sudden get into presidency and be like, you know what? I'm deciding I'm going to shut the country down. No more illegal immigration, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to create these new laws. I'm going to create these new laws. Like, no, he's just enforcing it. That's all it's doing. No one had a problem with it before.
No, my belly is not physically yellow. I'm pretty healthy in that way. I don't got any jaundice going on, so that's good.
Up until Trump. And the cope is, well, it's because of the way Trump is doing it. It's the way that, no, it's not the way that he's fucking.
You've been kneading bread? That's awesome, Red Door Woman. Yeah, I've been pretty happy. My wife recently, she started her sourdough journey. So I'm looking forward to that being prepared. It's a whole thing, sourdough bread. You got to like have this starter, and it's a whole thing. But it's close to being done, the starter. So that should be getting made soon. And I'm pretty happy about that. She also made focaccia bread. That was really delicious. So
doing it. It's the way that you retards are choosing to look at it, because you guys have been brainwashed into thinking that for some reason when Donald Trump does it, it's bad.
So anything to that?
Absolutely nothing to do with any of the points I would argue. It's a pure straw man.
Okay.
It was a problem. I mean, we can only object to the problems that we know about. As far as I'm aware, there was no citizen that got executed face down in the middle of the street for exercising his First and Second Amendment under any other president.
That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. You know what did happen, Dusty? Legal citizens did get wrongly deported, though. Like Mexican American citizens did get wrongly deported. Okay, are you for that? Because that did happen under other presidencies. Why don't you care about that? Also, that's irrelevant because it's not like all of this unrest happened because of the killings of Preddy and Good. The unrest was happening before this happened. So that's irrelevant. Okay, it was already happening. It was already happening way before the killings happened. Okay, so why are these agitators out there agitating and trying to obstruct the law only when Donald Trump does it, Dusty? How come these fucktards weren't doing it when the deporter-in-chief Obama was doing it? Could it be because our media wasn't painting out Obama to be this huge racist? Could it be because of that the left-wing media didn't paint Obama to be this fascist dictator that hates black and brown people? And that's why no one gave a shit when Obama would deport people or have turnarounds and whatnot. Biden deported people too. How come people like Obama's the one that created the cages, the kids in cages? That was under Obama. How come, Dusty? How come people only gave a shit when Trump had the kids in cages, but not Obama? Dusty, can you answer that for me, please?
Not that I'm aware of, not during my lifetime. That's been a news event. We can only protest the things that we're aware of. If we're not aware of, I don't know, you getting diddled by your father, Vic, then we can't object to it because we don't know it happened, can we?
You answering the video? Okay. Well, I can't wait to
I
see
don't know
that
why
answer.
you're pretending to debate me instead of just debating me. None of the points you're assigning to me are my position. Dusty, if you're going to defend Alex Pretty or Renee Good, then yes, I already heard it all. I don't know.
Yeah, you haven't because you're arguing against things that I haven't said.
Well, didn't you
I'm gonna
concede that
bring
2
you
+ 2 = 5?
better arguments, ones that aren't built on empathy. I'm not defending them.
I think it is all built on empathy, Dusty. I think it is.
I'm attacking the cops. Both parties can be wrong. In Pretty's case, I don't think he was. I do think that Good and the cop were wrong, but the cop's in more wrong. And this is a legal precedent that we don't want to set, where you can put yourself in the line of, I guess not the line of fire, but where a cop can walk in front of a
I noticed that. Okay, I'll finish what he says and then I'll address it.
person's car and force them to get out or else get executed.
Wait, what?
In the line of, I guess not the line of fire, but where a cop can walk in front of a person's car and force them to get out or else get executed. That's what we don't want to incentivize, is cops escalating the situation to where it's a, you obey me or I'm going to kill you.
Okay, Dusty, how do you want people to listen to the cops? Like, part of the reason why people listen to the cops is because they know there's a chance that if they fuck around, that they might get shot. That's what causes people to listen to cops. Like, part of the reason anyway. So what, you just don't want cops to fucking execute anybody? Not execute, but to use like force at all? Like, you don't want cops to use force at all? Like, what do you want? Like, it's just nonsense. It's just stupid. Like, what, you want criminals to be able to use force, but not officers? Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's what's stupid here. Like, you're talking about, we don't want to create the legal precedent. It's always been a legal precedent. Cops have used force for like ever. That's why they walk around armed.
Which is, whether he intended to or not, when he walked in front of the car, that is what happened. He escalated it from a non-cooperative person to a you cooperate with me or you die. And again, I'm not even saying that was the cop's intention. I do think it was.
No, and by the way, it wasn't you. By the way, Dusty, see how you keep having to change the scenario? It wasn't get out of the car or you will die. It was get out of the car. Then the lady drove into the freaking officer and the officer shot in response. This is what I'm talking about. Like, why? This is what I'm talking about. Like, we have to all pretend to be retards in order to, like, we have to all pretend we don't understand the situation. No, we understand what happened. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
But even without it, that's the effect that it had. Escalated the situation into a death wish, or into a death warrant.
Yeah, again, like lefties, like they'll tell you comply with criminals, but with law enforcement officers, no, you don't have to comply with them. You're a bootlicker if you do that. But criminals, yes, give the criminal your wallet, give them your money, your credit cards, give them all of that, okay? Because you don't want to be a hero now. You don't want to be a hero if they are pointing a gun at you. Let me bring this back up. Look, Illinois mom killed in execution-style shooting as she opened up her bar. She complied, gave him all the money from the register, and then he shot her in the head. But lefties will tell you, comply with the criminal. Don't try to be a hero. Oh, but with the officers, no, don't comply. This is the retarded backwards logic with these people. Yeah, criminals should have the right to rob you. Yes.
She didn't comply. And that's what we don't want to incentivize more of.
What new facts you're going to bring to the table that's going to be like, oh, shit, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And I was
totally
right.
right.
And I
Totally
was.
right. Alex Preddy was totally justified in there in intervening with the law. And what happened wasn't a fuck.
You keep saying the law like cops can't do anything illegal. Like it wasn't illegal to kill him. It was illegal to kill him. Will he get charged with it? Probably not, because cops routinely get away with illegal things all the time. But just because somebody hasn't a badge doesn't make them the law. I've bought Coke off of uniformed cops. Were they the law then? Was it not illegal to sell me Coke because it was a cop doing it?
It was illegal. Those cops should face punishment. Yeah, listen, I agree. I completely agree. There are corrupt and shady fucking cops. I completely agree. There's no argument from me there. I don't know what that has to do with these ICE shootings, though. Okay, like was that what was going on? Were these ICE officers buying Coke off of an illegal and then shoot him? Like, I don't understand what one has to do with the other.
P Flesh sends $5. He says, "Hey Flo, you never got back to me about how Maduro's boot tasted. I mean, you did defend the guy, so yeah. How about that? I don't understand. I have no.
Wait, Dusty defended Maduro?
I have no opinion on Maduro. I mean, I have an opinion on how we acted. I think that it was absurd that we blew up boats that couldn't have even reached the U.S. and said they were trafficking drugs into our country when they weren't.
When they weren't? How do you know that, Dusty? How do you know they weren't? How do you know that? Do you have the intel? Do you have, are you also getting intel from the government too? And you know, like, yeah, they're lying about the boats having drugs on them. You know, we're just lying. Yeah, those are fishermen. Is that what you're saying, Dusty?
So yeah, I think that we're full of shit about what we were doing there and why we did it. I don't recall the conversation though. I'm not licking Maduro's boot though. I'm not saying that I want him to shoot me in the street for protesting him. I'm not saying I'm not even supporting him so much as I'm saying, like, look, these people are obviously full of shit. If somebody lies to you, Fletch, thank you for the dono. If somebody lies to you to your face, it's because they want you to make a decision or form an opinion that you would not form if you knew the truth. They're tricking you into behaving against yourself.
Yeah, it's like how you've been tricked. You and all these other leftards have been tricked into behaving against yourself by, well, these poor illegal immigrants, we can't have them deported. No, no, no. Oh, those drug trafficking boats? No, no, no. They actually weren't. They lied to us. They weren't drug trafficking boats. We shouldn't have blown them up. We shouldn't have blown them up. Yeah, is it like that, Dusty, how they lie to you to act against your own best interest?
So when the U.S. government is saying that they blew up the boats because they were drug smugglers, even though A, they hadn't been on the boat, don't know what the fuck's on there, and B, the boats did not have the capacity to make it to our country, why the fuck are they lying to me?
How do you know they're lying to you?
How does DEA boot taste? Thank you for the dono.
Wow, he really likes seeing Marte naked, doesn't he? What's his obsession? Is that why? Does Dusty dislike Marte? Is it sexual tension? What's going on? Listen, I'm not one to be like, oh, he's gay for Marte, but dude, like, he's obsessed with Marte shirtless. He called the pictures that Marte posted on his YouTube thumbnail like thirst traps, and now he has this like little dancing thing where it's Marte dancing shirtless. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, what's up with that? What is up with that?
Fuck around and find out. It was actually just these Gestapo fucking ICE officers that are just being dicks.
Imagine that. Cops are never dicks, huh?
That's not what I said. Yes. Cops can be dicks. Yeah, Absolutely, cops can be dicks. That's a good thing I didn't say that, though. I never said cops can never be dicks. I just don't think that they were being dicks in these two situations.
What? Karlovic, you're going to give yourself a stiffy? Okay.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know what
And
that
by the way,
was about
Dusty,
either.
I don't even think that you were like I know Dusty, listen, I know we all joke Dusty's a lefty, but I don't even think that he has the same lefty position. It's just that like this is clearly like you can't intervene with the law like how it's going. This isn't a new law, okay? Like you can't.
He keeps repeating this like it's a new talking point or like it even is an appropriate one. The
It is.
law says that cops can't execute people.
That's not what happened. They weren't executed, though. That's the thing. You can't just call it a thing and then say that's what it was and then act like that's fact. It wasn't an execution, Dusty.
Compliance. That's the law.
And I know Dusty, he's a libertarian, so
it wasn't they just weren't complying, so they shot him, Dusty. That's the thing. That's what you're not understanding. It wasn't just that, they weren't listening, so they shot him. That's not what happened in either situation. Why can't you understand that?
He's just any kind of government thing is bad, okay? Which I disagree with. I don't think everything the government does is bad. And I think we need laws or else everything's chaos. Look what's happening right now.
We have laws and it's happening right now. The fuck do you mean look what's happening right now? Like that proves your point instead of mine.
Look.
Yeah, but the laws aren't being enforced. The immigration laws aren't. You're trying to disrupt them from being enforced.
What's happening?
And when I say you, I don't mean he's personally doing that. I'm just talking about when you're defending this shit, you're encouraging this stuff.
Right now, there's chaos. And it's because the laws aren't being enforced. Okay, Dusty, you can't say that you're not a lefty.
That's because he called us bootlickers. After I just said, hey, look, I don't think Dusty has the same lefty position. Then he called us bootlickers. Something a lefty would fucking say.
They are being enforced. And there's more chaos than ever.
They are being enforced. Yeah, why is that, Dusty? Why?
Then call us.
Dusty understands some people lie to you to get you to pretty much act against your best interests. That's what's literally happening right now.
Bootlickers, though. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Hey.
Yeah, I can.
Let me go back a little bit. Yeah, I can. I missed some super chats. T King for $5. Oh, I already read this one. Trafalgar for $1.99. Goal. Holy cow, I missed that, guys. Thank you very much for helping me complete the goal. Let's get another one started. Burr, burr, burr. All right, thank you very much, Trafalgar, and thank you very much, Nate, for another $5. Dusty is a Fed, and Starch Manning is my best friend. Thank you very much, Nate, for the $5. Very, very much appreciated.
I thought you wanted to.
Because lefties are bootlickers. Lefties are bootlickers. And you're a bootlicking lefty.
What? I'm a bootlicking lefty? That's a new one. Okay.
Are you seriously that much?
He is right. Lefties are bootlickers. But I am not a bootlicking lefty because I want the laws enforced.
One, go see Watson Club. Yeah, okay. So listen, I gotta review this.
Oh, you gotta
Let me pull it up. So I want to finish this off just to get it over with, because I said that I would review this in 3 parts, and I've already uploaded 2. So now it's time to finish it off.
In this case, his ex-wife.
Doesn't mean that you can't say shit like that, Dusty. You want us to bow to the nanny state and big government.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, no, this isn't big government.
Yes, it fucking is.
No, it fucking isn't. You can't just say something is and then just laugh like, owned them. How is this big government? How? How is enforcing laws that we already have big government? How is that government overreach? Can you explain that? He's got nothing. He's just gonna eat his chips. Quality entertainment here. I could see why this guy gets a lot of viewers. All 60 of them. 40 of them, 50 of them. It fluctuates.
After years of hovering around $10 billion, ICE now has access to $85 billion due to the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Okay.
Of the $75 billion supplemental fund, $45 billion is to be allocated to expand detention infrastructure, aiming to increase daily capacity to 100,000 detainees, while $30 billion supports enforcement and deportation operations. This surge has enabled ICE to more than double its workforce, from 10,000 to 22,000 agents in 2005. In 2005, it went from 10,000 to 22,000 agents. I should apply to get a job there, actually.
Is that it? Anything else? Well, I'll give Dusty credit if that's it.
Highlight that ICE's current funding exceeds the entire Justice Department's 2026 budget request. It exceeds the entire budget request of the Justice Department of $35 billion, so it exceeds it by more than double. And it is larger than the military budgets of 170 countries. So if we're trying to solve the problem, why isn't some of this money going to Border Patrol to prevent it from starting in the first place? So Vic's not for big government. He's just for, what is that? It's not like a doubling of more than doubling of the employees, but I don't even know what the word is for an 8-fold increase on funds. And building detention centers all across the country. That's not concerning to Vic or his viewers at all. Nobody's concerned about this. Cannot imagine. Absolutely lack the capacity. Chuck, is this concerning to you? Do you lack the capacity to envision how having massive detention facilities dotted all over the country? Well, we already do, but how even more of them could maybe be a problem someday. Someday you could be sitting in that cell going,
this is retarded.
Damn it, I never thought I'd get my citizenship revoked for not paying my parking ticket.
What the fuck is he talking about?
You get what I'm saying?
It'll never happen, but you get what I'm saying? Well, if it'll never happen, then what the fuck are you saying?
And these are the people that think that they're in any position to assess debates. Bro, how would any of these people feel if they hadn't had breakfast this morning? That's what I want to know.
This is just immigrant.
I didn't have breakfast this morning. Well, I had a banana. So I'm actually kind of hungry. Anyway, yeah, so I'll give Dusty some credit. That was actually a point there. That was actually an argument. However, Dusty, what Dusty is neglecting, though, is, gee, why would we need to allocate more resources to ICE? Why? What changed in the last 4 years that we would need to pump more money into ICE? What happened? Can anybody tell me in the class what happened during Biden's term? What happened there? What did 10 million plus illegals come into this country? Could that be it? 10 million plus. So yes, Dusty, that would make sense to me why we would need more money pumped into ICE, because we have over 10 million illegals, and we don't even know the exact number. Okay, but we'll go with 10 million. Even if it's just 10 million and not a single illegal over, that's a shitload of fucking people. 10 million. So yes, Dusty, it does make sense that we need to pour more money into these resources. We need to put more resources to this. That makes complete sense to me. And your only problem with it is, what if I, as a legal citizen, gets detained for a parking ticket? And then you even say in your next breath, that wouldn't happen, but you know what I mean. Well, no, if you're acknowledging that wouldn't happen, then no, I don't know what you mean. I don't. Even you said that wouldn't happen. So I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? This is just like, it's just nonsense.
Immigration laws. All countries have it.
Not like this.
You can't have a country where everyone just goes in and out.
No, they don't all have it. In fact, 170 countries. Out of how many countries are there? Like 173 or some shit. The whole world's, all the countries in the world don't even have military budgets this size. This is why you don't want to debate me, Vic, because you know that you'd fucking lose. Instead of running away from challenges to your dumb fucking worldview, why don't you stop having a dumb fucking worldview?
That's you, Dusty. You have a dumb fucking worldview.
You can stand in your square with a lot more confidence if your square isn't wrong. But if you're wrong, and if you're lying, and if you're full of shit, that's when you got to run away. That's when you got to be a pussy like this publicly.
I don't owe you a debate, Dusty. And again, it's not going to be a fruitful debate. I already, just by watching your video, I already debunked everything you said. Again, your best argument that you brought is, why do we have all these resources? Why are we pumping in more resources to ICE? Which I already responded to. It's because we have 10 million people here that don't belong here. That's a shitload of fucking people. So yes, that makes sense that we would have more resources into ICE. And by the way, that it's still not enough. Like, it's still like even by the end of Trump, even if he with the way it's going now, by the end of Trump's term, it's still not going to get rid of them all. There's still going to be a shitload of people here.
It's a retarded thing to say that we're the bootlickers for wanting laws enforced. By that logic, Dusty, if someone broke into your house and you called the police, are you a bootlicker?
Well, are you?
Bootlick?
Is that what happened? Did somebody break into your house and now you're calling the police? That's not what happened. It's not.
Yeah, that's the best he got. That's the best he got. That's not what happened. No, but I'm saying by your logic, because see, my logic is I want the laws enforced, right? That's what I want. Okay. So but I'm a bootlicker. That doesn't make me a bootlicker because I want the laws enforced, even if I was wrong. But if my worldview is I want the laws enforced, that's why I'm not a bootlicker. I'm pointing out that by your logic, by calling me a bootlicker, well, then by that logic, if you call the police on someone that committed a crime, then you're a bootlicker by your logic. That's what I'm pointing out. But he can't respond to that, so he has to say, well, is that what happened, though?
Even a comparable analogy. Guess why? Your house is your personal space where you live constantly every day. If somebody's over, if there's an illegal immigrant in Los Angeles, that's not my house. They're not interfering with me. I won't even see them ever in my life.
God. So the illegals are fine as long as they're not bothering Dusty, guys. That's what he's saying. As long as they're not bothering Dusty. Again, the libertarian, you do you, I do me, we do each other mentality. William Wilson for $5. Dusty follows his own advice. If you fear for your life, don't get in the ring. Yep. Real Robert Flowers for $9.99. Robert Flowers would like to start V1C's second floor attic fund. My houseboat is sadly attic free. Glad to catch you live, my man. Well, thank you very much, Robert Flowers. Yes, it would be nice to add another story to my attic, right? So that way I could be a baller Chad like Rob Knorr. Thank you very much, Ken, for the Canadian 5. The video should be titled, the video title should be Reasons Why We Don't Debate with Artards. Dusty got brain damage from all the drugs he did. Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. It'll do that to you. The drugs aren't harmless. They will damage your brain long term. Thank you very much, Ken, for the $5. I don't even know if I want to like go on like
life. So why are you trying to conflate the damage of the two? As if they're sitting in my house eating my fucking food. Probably
again, this mindset. Well, so as long as they're not bothering Dusty, then he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
not. In fact, for sure not. Probably what they're doing, if they're assuming.
Oh, please. I wonder if non-lefty Dusty is going to say, what they're probably doing is trying to work hard and build a better life for themselves. I don't know if that's what he's going to say, but I'm going to laugh so hard if he fucking says that. Let's see if that's what he says.
They're working is contributing economically to the country in a way that we need. It doesn't matter if they send the money home, because the economic value, assuming they're working, the economic value that they've brought to the country is greater than the amount of cash that they've exported. That's just the math. That's how free market economics works. If both sides of a transaction are voluntary, that means that both parties think that they're better off after doing it. That means that's how you create value. So
why can't they come here legally and do that then, Dusty? Why can't they do that? Why can't they come in legally and do that then? Why do they have to come here illegally? By the way, they do lower the wages because they're willing to work for cheaper.
Doesn't matter if they're sending the money home. We still benefit here from that transaction having taken place.
But didn't I call it non-lefty Dusty here using the same fucking lefty arguments? Oh, but they're just wanting to work and my GDP, my cheap labor, huh? We benefit, my GDP. They're just working. They're working hard. They're just trying to better themselves.
The only thing you got to do, this would the entire issue would be neutralized of they're using our resources. Just turn off all government handouts to illegal immigrants. Don't give them housing, don't give them food stamps. Don't give them any handouts. Then the ones that are here, if they're not committing crimes, if they don't get arrested in the course of their day-to-day lives because they're out there doing other illegal shit, then all they're doing here, then that just means this is an administrative issue. They're here illegally because we haven't done the paperwork yet. But since they're not getting handouts and they're contributing to the economy because they have to, because there's not a social safety net that they can access, then actually we're better off for it. That's just
no, because they're willing to work under the table and they're willing to work. I don't know if Dusty's anti-big corporations or not, but that's actually helping big corporations because they're willing to work under the table, meaning that their pays won't get reported for taxes, meaning that they don't have to pay more in taxes and such. And also it lowers the wages for everybody. It does. Yeah. Also too, like in here in California, if you want to go buy car insurance, like there's an option where it's like, do you want to protect against uninsured drivers? And it's like extra if you want protection against uninsured drivers. Well, here in California, since we have a lot of illegals here, that's kind of a necessity at this point because there's a lot of uninsured fucking drivers out there because a lot of them are illegals. So no, this isn't like a harmless thing, Dusty. It's not like a victimless act here. And again, you're stealing spots from people that are trying to do it the right way, Dusty. Okay. Why can't they just apply to come here legally before coming here illegally? Okay. That would be like if I snuck into Disneyland and they're like, well, they're buying the popcorn. They're buying merchandise and shit. They're profiting Disneyland. So listen, like, it's just like an administrative issue where they just didn't buy the ticket. Well, why couldn't they just wait in line and buy a ticket like everybody else instead of sneaking in, which is stealing?
It's economics. That's not even a politically biased opinion. That's not my libtard economics. That's just his economics.
Flicker Dusty if he doesn't.
Yeah, and then also the Democrats. Yes, another thing, the Democrats are allowing them to vote in the elections and such, because here in California, you don't have to have like an ID or anything to prove you're an actual citizen here. Okay, you could just vote in the elections as long as you live here. So this isn't like some kind of victimless, harmless thing, Dusty. It's irrelevant. Like, it's not irrelevant, but it's not a victimless thing.
People breaking into his home.
And I haven't been watching the chat very close. I do see there's some people look like they're squawking up. I'll drop the link in a bit.
Did that.
That's true.
I'd rather.
And you're cowards. Mostly you're cowards because, and you need an echo chamber. You need your safe space. Somebody was asking questions about your dumb fucking worldview. And yes, I got blocked right about then. One of the mods blocked me. So they kicked me out of the safe space. I'm sorry for barging into your safe space where you pussies need to lick each other's gashes and cry about an imaginary culprit that you've never interacted with, that you've never dealt with.
Imaginary culprit. So again, this is the lefty mindset. Like, well, they're not causing harm to anybody, but yeah, again, they're stealing spots here, Dusty. They're stealing spots. It's not like a victimless thing. They are fucking with the economy. It does fuck with wages. Okay, it does fuck with wages. It does lead to like big like these companies profiting and businesses profiting because they're hiring the cheap labor, so they don't have to pay actual citizens here, people actually wanting a higher wage. More when they could just hire cheap labor. Okay, this isn't a victimless thing, and just because you call it a victimless thing doesn't mean it's true.
Watch Vic's chair debate Rob Norris chair about chair stuff, then watching their ice shooting debate with the lefty. Yeah, I know, right? That'd actually be pretty good. Me and Rob should set that up. Part 3.
Like, oh no, Rob, fuck that guy, fuck that shit. Keith for $2 broke in the country taking jobs or government handouts. Yeah. So Dusty is fine with them coming into this country illegally, just as long as you don't give him handouts. Like, okay, he's not down to give him handouts. Oh, okay, well, that's reasonable. But he still wants them to be able to get jobs, work for cheaper pay, send money back home to their own countries, and blah, blah, blah. Nate for $20. Thank you very much for the big 20, Nate. How do these people not understand that if they are undocumented and the government does not supply them with tax identification number, they have to steal someone else? That's another point too, Nate. Yes, they have to steal someone else's social security just to operate in society, equals identity theft. Yes, absolutely, Nate, 100%. I remember Nate saying before that he's had his social security stolen before, like multiple times. So yes, it's not a victimless thing, Dusty. This isn't just little Lupita and Pablo with their 4 kids just trying to survive and how do you say, like, prosper in this new country of opportunity here. Like, it's not that simple. Okay, it's not that simple. There's a reason why we have an immigration process, and it's not only under dictator Trump that came up with that. We've had this forever, and other countries have too. This is not something this is not something new. This isn't government overreach. And the only point that you bring up is like, well, we're putting more money into these into resources for ICE. Yeah, that's because we've had people flooding this country for the last 4 years. It was pretty much open borders here or under Biden's term. So that makes sense that we would have to put more resources into this. How many homeless people does Dusty let live with him? Yeah, that's a good question. I'm pretty sure none. I honestly am surprised Dusty didn't say nothing's illegal on stolen land, but I'm not a lefty. I'm surprised he didn't say that, right? I'm pretty sure if I let this video play longer, he'll probably eventually say that. It's a slap in the face of the illegal immigrants. Exactly. The people who actually did it the right way, went through the process, and actually do appreciate this country and their opportunity of being here and being legal here. It's an absolute slap in the face. Like, legal migrants don't like illegal immigrants, because to them, it's like, well, why did I have to do all this work, put in all this effort to do things the right way? when I could have just snuck in here like everybody else, and I'm gonna have dummies like Dusty here fucking defending it. It's incredibly disrespectful to the immigrants who waited and respected the process too. It gives immigrants a bad reputation and makes it harder for legitimate immigrants to advance. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like imagine if like, okay, for Disneyland, right? Like you're waiting in line to buy a ticket or blah, blah, blah to get inside. Meanwhile, there's millions of people that snuck into Disneyland. And so Disneyland is all of a sudden like, hey guys, we know you're trying to get in the right way, but we have to, our theme park is getting filled up right now. It's almost full. So you guys are gonna have to wait a little bit longer while we clear out all the illegal immigrants that are here. Like you're just making it harder for people to want to come into this country legally if you just give passes to all the people that snuck in. I love how him and Brian S. constantly say there are no leftists, but only support leftist ideology. Yeah. I would respect them more if they were honest. Yeah. Keep for $5. Liberals and libertarians are the same. Everything would be perfect if everything was ran exactly the way I want. Any problems are your fault. Yeah. I just can't believe. Thank you very much, Keith, for the $5. I just can't believe he went with, well, listen, these illegals that are over there, they're not affecting you. They're not affecting you. So what the fuck? Oh, okay. Well, then by that logic, I'm against cops arresting rapists and murderers then because there's no murderers in my house. There's no immigrants. There's no murders in my house. So how come these cops are arresting murderers and rapists then when they're not in my house? They're all the way over there. That's the same retarded logic. It doesn't make any sense. What does it matter if they're here or there? If they're near or far? Whatever Dr. Seuss shit that you want. Like, what does it matter? Nothing. It's not. It doesn't all of a sudden become legal because it's over there. Yeah, they're not graping me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not graping me. They're not breaking into my house, so I don't care. I do construction, and yes, it affects me. Yeah, I bet, Keith. I bet. I bet it affects you. I bet it drives wages down. I bet it, yeah. I bet it drives wages down and it makes it harder for your business to you work with to get certain jobs if there's like another company that hires mostly illegals that are willing to do it for cheaper. Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Duh. I do not want illegal immigrants. I do not want them semi-M. Yeah. Yeah. Near, far, wherever you are, Dusty's heart will go on. Yeah. Yeah, without a border, a boundary, there can be no individual liberty whatsoever. There can be no property owned whatsoever, none of any kind. Yeah, exactly. I live in Arizona. My little brother had to be revived because an illegal T-boned into my mom's Civic. The woman was driving a van with 7 kids, 6 not hers. She and her child survived. The others didn't. That's fucking sad, man. That's fucking sad. But hey, that, Willie Shambler, it doesn't affect Dusty, though. It doesn't affect Dusty, so that's okay because it doesn't affect him. Bro, if you had to give a range of Dusty's IQ, what would you reckon? Somewhere in the 90s. If I had to give an honest assessment, probably somewhere in the 90s. Like probably, what's the average IQ? Is it 99 or 98 or 100 or 101? It's like around there. I would probably say like 97, 98, 96, 95, just somewhere in the 90s. I would have said 60. Generous. Yeah, I would say generous. Dusty IQ is like one shit. Yeah. I know 2 different women that have been raped by them. Endless stories like that here. Yeah. But hey, man, it doesn't affect Dusty, so he doesn't care. That's all good to him. You're a bootlicker if you want those people deported. Dusty pool cart. Dude, that's a good emoji idea. I think I have enough for 1 or 2 more emojis. If he keeps at it with this low IQ stuff, like, I need to make a Dusty pool cart emoji. You're being nice. Yeah, everyone seems to think so. Below 86. Are you going to debate him? Probably not on this topic. I don't see what the point is. I I've listened to what he had to say on the topic, and I've already like debunked them all. It's all basically down to his feelings, like it always is. Like with these lefties, it's all about how I feel, and his logic is the same as the lefties. Well, listen, the hardworking, like Lupita and Pablo and her 5 kids, as long as they're just working here to better themselves, and it's all fine. All the people that died and were raped coming here illegally, left to die in the desert, doesn't affect destiny. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. It's even harmful to these illegals that are trying to come here. Like, they're literally risking their lives trying to come here too, and a lot of them have died trying to come here, or they pay the cartels, so they're in debt to the cartels. Like, you're just enabling the cartels. Like, this isn't this isn't some victimless thing. It's not a victimless thing, but it doesn't affect Dusty, so. Dusty's mom set up his computer and streaming rig. Is this what you kids play? The computer? Is this those Nintendos that I've been hearing you kids go on about? The Nintendos? Does this play the new Super Mario Brothers? Mom, this is a computer. It's not a Nintendo. God, you idiot. Okay, I'm sorry. I just don't know. Okay, here. I brought you your bagel bites. Thanks, Mom. Gosh, and they better not be cold like last time. Last time they were a little cold, Mom. Okay. I told you. I know it says to microwave them for a minute, but you got to microwave them at least a minute and 20 seconds. Okay? I told you this, Mom. I'm sorry. Okay. Dusty just loves himself some nanas and rice. Yeah. Yeah. Sold into sex slavery. How many children were just lost by the Biden admin? Yeah. There's like so many problems with illegal immigration. Yeah. Mom, the meatloaf. Yeah. What is she doing over there? Mom, the meatloaf. First Amendment would say they make the food taste better, so let them all in. Yeah, he would. Well, you got to remember, First Amender is a second-generation immigrant. That's his words. That's how he describes himself. I'm a second-generation immigrant. Like, this motherfucker First Amender like looks down on us like we're beneath him. Like, he's so condescending, like we're beneath him, but then he says stupid things like, I'm a second-generation immigrant. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? No, you're you're either an immigrant, first-generation immigrant, or like either you're here legally or you're not. But Amender's here legally, meaning he's a first-generation citizen. His parents are here. His parents are immigrants. He's legal. So he's a first-generation citizen, not a second-generation immigrant, you retard. Anyway, it's I spent too much on this Dusty thing. I wanted to cover Andrew on Pierce.
When these people come out.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, did you enjoy that video? I hope you did. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe, or else you're gay. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules. I'm just trying to save you from sin. Also, make sure you catch the Cool Stream live Mondays through Fridays right here on my YouTube channel, and make sure you follow me at any of these links down below for everything Cool Vic.